So guys, I will be posting this video for those who would be taking the bar examination, especially for those who are working. And not only that, working po ako and at the same time, refresher din. So, number one po na problem kasi ng mga examinees na tulad natin is the schedule. Disclaimer lang before I continue with my video, there are some AI or chat GPT prompt that I use. However, do not rely on the legal basis as well as some of the um, statements or ruling that's stated in the chat GPT. It's only for reference purposes. You still have to double check it on your own. So if there are some cases that were non-existent as posted by chat GPT, don't mind it. It's just be used on how I'll just be teaching you on how to prompt the exact words to be used for the legal basis. We'll go on further mamaya-maya. So for now, na-topic natin yung scheduling. Di pa pag sa review, sa mga bar review centers, mauuna is yung pinakamabigat like remedial law. Remedial law is for the month of January. January to till half or midway of February. And then next subject, so on and so forth. Iniba ko siya. So, ang nangyayari kasi, pag halimbawa, inuna ko or sinunod ko yung sa review center, parang may feeling ako makakalimutan ko siya. So, magagahol ako sa oras. So, ang ginawa ko, since I cannot read voluminous books and I cannot read all the review materials being given by the review center, I devised a plan. So, ito, napakita ko lang sa inyo. Ito yung video na to, di ba? Nakapost siya. Accompanied by my phone para makita ko rin siya ng clear. So, bale, 2026 bar review, first na gagawin nyo po is you print the syllabus. Once you print the syllabus, familiarize it. I-check nyo yung mga nadaanan nyo na. I'm not saying na na-memorize nyo. Definitely, I did not memorize. Di ba mauuna, for example, sa remedial, no? Kinds of courts, definition of yung cause of action, etc. I-check nyo lang. Kasi lahat tayo nadaanan na natin yun. You have to look kung ano yung mga cases na pino-point out doon sa syllabus. Kasi from 2023 and then 2025, nung nag-start na yung exam is on sa laptop na, may mga cases na pinaprovide yung Supreme Court. So, ang ginawa ko, nung especially yung 2023 bar exam, pero the People versus Radio, talagang inano ko siya, dinigest ko siya, ay doon ko inano yung attention ko. The same is to sa 2025. I don't know kung may mga cases siya, basta may mga ano doon na hindi siya masyadong pinapansin. And then yung strategic plan of judicial innovations, na-mention siya doon na every bar exam meron. So, pagtuunan nyo din yung pansin. Basta mga bago, pagtuunan nyo ng pansin. Don't be scared na hindi nyo masyadong nababalikan kasi nadaanan nyo na siya. Kasi kung halimbawa, if you will be asked, ano ang enumeration, yung mode of discovery, sobrang haba niya, diba? Pag dinefine mo, ano yung purpose. Pero, if you sit on it, on a cozy afternoon, tapos natitipla kayo ng kape, ito lang iisipin mo, saan applicable yung modes of discovery? Tapos, applicable ba siya sa civil case? May exception ba siya? Applicable ba siya sa criminal case? Yun po yung ginawa ko. Hindi ko kasi tinodo talaga ng sobra kasi nga, gahul po ako sa oras. So, pag working ako ng 8 to 5, syempre, pagbalik ko ng bahay, ang dami ko pang gagawin. So, like all of you, especially na may mga anak kayo, yun po yung priority natin, di ba? So, 2 to 3 hours lang talaga yung span ko ng pagbabasa. And I have to go to sleep at around 11, max na yan. Kasi, if I will not do that, nagkakaroon po ako ng infection or fever. Kaya, naging sakitin ako when I tried na paabuti ng 2 a.m. Hindi po talaga kaya ng ano ko is concentration span ko. So, going back sa schedule, ito siya, don't you worry, kasi nandito naman sa may side ko. Piniplay ko lang para makita ko din. So, di ba, after the syllabus, mastery of syllabus, punta na tayo sa subjects na or materials. So, kung ang gusto niyong unahin is remedial law, that is okay. Kung gusto niyang unahin is civil law, that is also okay. Ang point is, hindi kayo mag-uuna because yun yung hindi kayo familiar. Inuuna niyo siya kasi comfortable kayo. Para nandun pa rin yung drive. Mind you, hindi ko inuna yung remedial law. Inuna ko kung ano yung parang feel ko na gusto kong aralin. Kasi para tuloy-tuloy yung pag-study ko. So, tatlo po yung tinandaan ko. Number 1, landmark cases. Number 2, sure, shares cases. And number 3, specific provision of law. So, tatlo lang. So, I've downloaded the landmark cases. The landmark cases po, makukuha nyo yan sa ibang yung review center or sometimes libre na siya sa script. So, ang ginawa ko, yung landmark cases na yun is good only for 5 years. Sa 5 years span, for example, 2001 to 2025, I've downloaded the landmark cases, condensed only to 1 or 2 sentences para hindi masyadong bulky. That's number 1. Number 2, shares cases. Paano natin makukuha yung shares cases? Kung ang examiner po ninyo is si Justice Garland by 2026, yung lawyerly, kung www.lawyerly.ph, pwede nyo pong ma-search kung sino yung examiner. Lahat po ng cases decided niya lalabas. So, dinownload ko siya isa-isa. The problem is hindi siya divided into different subjects. So, nung dinownload ko siya isa-isa, pag free time ko lang ha, kasi sometimes yung agitation natin, we get too much excited. So, kinalma ko yung sarili ko, like, spare time, digest. Kuha lang ako ng konti. And then, isi-separate ko na siya sa different subjects. Oh, may topic dito sa sa commercial, ilalagay ko siya. And then, nilalagay ko po yung exact citation. Yung halimbawa sa civil law, kay Justice Amy, yung Chan Suico versus Spouses Paltep, it's regarding yun sa if I'm not mistaken, eminent domain. Kumuha lang ako ng portion doon and then minemorize ko siya. So, yun. It's available in the internet. Pwede nyo siyang ma-download. Kahit kayo na lang. And then, kung up to 2023 yung nakita nyo decided case sa lawyerly, may mga cases po doon na wala pa yung 2024-2025. So, bahala na po kayong mag-research kasi may mga missing po doon years. So, hinanap ko na lang talaga siya to Lawfield or China Bless. Minsan nabibigay din ng review centers. So, pag may mga binibigay yung review center, minsan may ikli. So, ginagawa ko, iniipon ko na lang siya. And then, na-digest ko na yung landmark, yung shares cases. Di ba? So, ang goal ko ngayon sa landmark and shares cases, makondense ko siya na hindi siya magsusobra sa 5 pages. Hindi rin siya magiging bulky pag binasa ko. Like, pag print ko siya, unang tingin mo pa lang, kahit 2 hours, kaya mong basahin. So, medyo medyo challenging kasi parang may fear ka. Paano yung topic na ganito? Paano yung topic na ganyan? Doon tayo sa provision of law na. When I was taking the bar exam, dinagyan ko po ng exact provision of law. Even hindi siya in toto. Hindi ko po kayang i-memorize sa in toto yung article. Pero nag-mention ako ng article number. Why did I mention? Kasi parang may psychology ba na sana mapatigil, mapapastop yung mag-check para ma-verify. Check natin kung tama yung article na to. Pero of course, kung nag-check na yun, memorize niya, alam niya kung anong nandun. He knows what you're talking about. So, alimbawa, sa breach of contract, ano yung pwede mong gamitin legal basis? Ang gagamitin kong legal basis is yung Article 1170 of the Civil Code. Those guilty of delay, blah, 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 hindi ko na siya memorize, are liable for damages. Catch-all provision siya. lahat ng catch-all provision, kunin nyo. Yung sa civil na top 500 provisions, hindi ko nga siya hindi ko siya mapaulit-ulit. So, ang challenge ko doon sa top 500 provision ng civil law, i-condense ko naman siya. So, kailangan din maikli lang. So, sa rules of code, ganun din yung ginawa ko. Yung pinaka-importante doon na mga, for example, sa appeal, dapat memorize mo yung number 40, 41, 45, 65, and then yung purpose nun. And then, pagdating naman sa liberality, minemorize ko yung sa liberal construction of the rules. Hindi kanya magkakamali. And then, after liberal construction of the rules, meron din siyang kahalong jurisprudence. So, ulitin ko, landmark cases, chairs cases, piling-pili na codal provision or rules. Ang goal mo, hindi siya sumobra sa pages or, for example, ang goal ko rin hindi sumobra sa 10 pages kasi gusto ko nang gumawa ng sarili kong last minute tips. Kasi para pag during the August to September na actual bar, hindi na ako collect pa ng materials kasi nakagawa ka na. Hindi ka na matatakot. So, kaya noon, medyo hindi ako nagpapakita sa mga classmates ko na nag-review din kasi parang hindi ba ako na naman nervous kasi sila nagbabasa ng voluminous books. I mean, it's okay kung kaya ng schedule mo. Honestly speaking, hindi ko kaya. Kasi nga, I'm also working. And minsan, nakaka-uwi ako ng trabaho. So, yun lang yung way ko para ma-familiarize. And then, meron ka pa rin na pala pagdating sa bar exam. Inano ko lang talaga sa mind ko na nadaanan ko to during law school years. Ilang take na ako ng bar exam, nadaanan ko to during review. So, since na-mention ko na yung mga article, yung shares cases and landmark, punta tayo sa how or method kung paano ako sumagot. So, open ko lang yung phone ko, guys. Diba tapos na tayo sa scheduling? So, dito na tayo sa manner of answer. Nakikita nyo guys dito sa ChatGPT yung manner of answering. Usually kasi we were being advised na pag sa legal basis, pag Supreme Court decision, the Supreme Court has held, pag provision of law, under the rules of court or under the civil code, ganon. Wala pong problema. If you're comfortable doing it, that's not a problem. Pero, sobrang frustrated ko na gusto kong mapansin yung answers ko, I sought help from my peers, yung associate lawyer namin. Sabi ko, ano bang linagay mo sa note sa laptop mo kung sumasagot ka nung 2023 bar exam? You know what he told me? Sabi niya, nung very sure siya ng jurisprudence, linagay niya yung letter to the letter from the wife of Secretary Corona na case. Minention niya yon. Linagay niya yon yung provision na yon. So ang challenge naman ngayon is paano mo siya mapapaganda when you put it in your answers or during the bar kasi ayaw mong maging monotonous like under the case of, in the case of ganyan. Nilalagay ko po, well entrenched in the case of Chansuiko versus Paltep. Then mention ko na siya. May mga answers po ako doon na hindi ako kontento sa isang legal basis. So ang nangyayari po, nung sa political law, under Article 10 of the 1987 Constitution about local governments, tapos second sentence ko naman, nilalagay ko naman yung General Welfare Clause, in relation to the General Welfare Clause of the Local Government Code, ganon. Tapos, may question doon na kailangan mong mag-discuss kasi yung question niya is resolve or decide. Pagka ganon, hindi siya one-sided kasi ang daming issues. So, for example, yung state immunity for suit, ang ginawa ko po noon is we have to distinguish if the acts are iure imperii or the acts belong to iure justonis. dinefine ko po and dinefinition what is the definition of Iure Distronis and Iure Imperii. Para lang ba maano yung mag-check. Pinapaganda ko po yung sagot. But there's no need for you to be poetic. Ang importante lang, yung parang hindi ka monotonous and you know what you're talking about. Yun lang po yun. Tapos, maging maganda lang yung reasoning ko, may logic. So, di ba na-observe nyo kung paano mag-answer yung usual na mga suggested answers. But again, please don't mind the cases. Some of them are just being prompted by ChatGPT. It's just used for reference. So, punta na po tayo sa ALAK method. Sa ALAK method po, di ba may pinaprompt si ChatGPT kung paano sumagot sa bar exam? Ako, nakadalawang prompt ako na gusto ko talaga yung very clear and using the ALAK formula. So, let's go to using of ALAK method. Ngayon, we'll just choose kung alin na dyan sa mga lumalabas na applicable yung ALAK method. Although kung hindi ko siya maano, ano nyo na lang guys, i-post nyo na lang kung saan gusto nyo na question. Basta, when using ALAK method, i-sample ko sa inyo yung political law. For example, dito na tayo sa answer, hindi ko na yung facts or issue. Answer, the law is unconstitutional. So, legal basis ko po is under Article 7 of the 1987 Constitution kasi nahirapan ako mag-memorize nung section. So, dun lang. Tapos, after the legal basis, I include the jurisprudence. Now, going to jurisprudence, nilalagay ko na time-honored, it is a time-honored rule under the case of Secretary versus Senate versus Executive Secretary, again, discuss ko. And then, application to fourth paragraph. And then, conclusion sa last. Tapos, paano po ko ang tanong, medyo hanging, na-mention ko ata ito sa yung rules of discovery. One of our lecturers noon, nag-mention na you will be given full credit pag mention mo yung buong knowledge mo about doon sa question. You'll be given full credit. So for example, sa modes of discovery, ang question is, are modes of discovery allowed in criminal cases? So sobrang dami ng modes of discovery, diba? So alin doon, deposition, admissions by interest, written interrogatories. So applying ALAK formula, ganito po yung suggestion. Answer, as a general rule, depositions are not allowed in criminal cases. By exceptions, depositions may be permitted to the suppletory of application of the rules of court and by compelling reasons. Yun yung first. Yung second paragraph, ando na yung tatlong case. Yung tatlong case na yun, those are landmark cases. As settled in Go versus People, the court disallowed the taking of this deposition abroad, emphasizing that depositions in criminal cases must be taken only in a manner consistent with the right to confront witnesses. Further, ito yung 2019 case ni People versus Sergio. Depositions may be allowed in criminal proceedings unless there is a compelling reason. And finally, this is a 2020 case, People versus Lilaang, which is yung modus discovery na ginamit is admission by interest. Hindi siya applicable sa criminal proceedings kasi may mga, I'm sorry, tingnan ko lang. Kasi sa People versus Lilaang, the court held that request for admission cannot be utilized in criminal proceeding as the accused might admit material facts amounts to forcing him testify against himself. Kumbaga, kung ganun yung question na hindi mo siya masagot talaga direct kasi there are 3 cases involved, it's better to mention na lang the cases and it's better not to cite the cases themselves. So, last nito is yung conclusion. Yung conclusion, thus depositions in criminal cases are generally disallowed and may be allowed only if there is a compelling reason. So yun. So bali guys, ano lang talaga, um, condensed na masyado yung review ko noon. Tapos, ulitin natin, yung sa scheduling, yung first na sinabi ko, hindi ko in-apply yung 1 month MLO, second month civil law kasi nga gahol na. Like sa 1 month pa lang, covered na yung lahat ng subjects. Medyo challenging siya, pero kaya naman pala. Basta yung pinaka-important topics na-include mo na, nasulat mo na. Kasi ang challenge yun is paano mo siya mapaiikli. And I have to mention also, pag pagod na kayo, there are 3 lecturers na sobrang galing na kaya nilang ubusin ng remedial law ng ilang oras. Number 1 is Dean Moya. It's searchable siya sa YouTube. Kahit bago kayo matulog, kung pagod na kung magja-jogging kayo, pakinggan nyo lang sa Dean Moya. Lahat ng cases, lahat ng landmark cases, and familiarize with the Moya 3. Malalaman nyo po na madali lang po ang remedial law. And sa 2 times ko pong pag-take ng 2023, this time 2025, kasi professor ko si Dean Moya sa repression. Mataas po yung nakuha kong mark. So, 82 po ako sa remedial law, and thanks to Dean Moya. Of course, to Dean Pesting, syempre. Tapos sa labor naman, si Dean Duca. Si Dean Duca naman ang dahilan ba't ako nag-highest sa labor. I got 86 kasi minimension niya yung article. And not only the article but also the jurisprudence enveloping in that article. So, bale, may yung sa bar question doon sa labor law, ang ginawa ko po, not only did I mention 2 articles, but also I mentioned the exact citation of the jurisprudence. Kasi I am very sure, kasi kinapik yun ni Dean Duca. And lastly, si Dean Aljumrani ng Civil Law. Talagang matitikil yung mind mo when it comes to answering bar questions. So, yung mga na-mention ko pong lecturers, if you have some spare time, pag pagod na kayong magbasa, try to search and listen to them. Kaya nilang ubusin. So, nakatipid na kayo ng ilang topics na dapat nyong i-focus. So, in that way po, mako-cover nyo po talaga yung mga pinaka-important subjects. And as to the legal forms, huwag na po kayong mamblema. Kahit a day before po, Saturday before the bar exam, kayang-kaya nyo ma-familiarize sa legal forms. That's me. As long as you know the provisions of the law, kaya po yan. So, before ko po tapusin yung bid, ito lang pong iipunin nyo. And this is only for the working. Kasi kung full-time kayo, you have the luxury of time. Kaya nyong magbasa ng full book. That is recommended. But for some, tulad ko na 2 days lang yung leave of absence, ito na po yung pinaka-best. Number 1, collect landmark cases. Number 2, the chair's cases. Number 3, choose the provisions of law applicable. And with the help of AI, mag-practice po kayong sumagot. At least 2 or 3 bar questions every 2 weeks or every week kung makaya nyo po. Kasi ako hindi naman po regularly na nagpa-practice ng bar questions. Kasi ang ano ko po nun is more on familiarizing tapos reading nung mga ginawa ko. Kasi focus ko nun magkaroon ng sarili kong LMT. And guys, if you have any questions or if you have difficulty kasi of understanding dun sa sinabi ko, you may comment or send me a DM. I try to be responsive as possible. And thank you po. And while you review, you surrender to God. Yun lang po talaga. Because I will not be able to pass the bar if I did not surrender to God. Thank you.